Fox 55 News, first at 10.
Tonight on Fox 55 News, Mayor Tom Henry lays out his goals to improve the city of Fort Wayne. What plans he has for economic growth and how Mayor Henry plans to support those impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Plus, Indiana health officials discuss vaccine eligibility for more Hoosiers, who's next in line and when this change could come. And later, a local business working hard to find a place to call home, how you can help them achieve that goal. Fox 55 News starts right now. Good evening, I'm Chris Malooly. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry is looking towards the future. In his 14th State of the City address, Mayor Henry spoke on the hardships and accomplishments in the year 2020 and spoke about his view of the future for the city, including some new information about a big project near downtown Fort Wayne. Fox 55's Caleb Saylor was at the address this afternoon and tells us his top priorities.
Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry shared a message of strength in his annual State of the City address. He touted new job growth in 2020, along with improvements to parks and public works. And while he says his top priority in 2021 is to meet the needs of residents and businesses suffering through the COVID-19 pandemic, he wants to make sure that the city is still growing and is as safe as possible.
Fort Wayne, it's our time.
The future of Fort Wayne is bright in the eyes of Mayor Tom Henry. His plans to improve Fort Wayne in 2021 including making the city safer. Henry says crime in Fort Wayne was down 13% last year. And while violent crimes was up, the homicide clear rate was 81%. To improve on safety, he says the city plans to add resources to the homicide division and equip the department with more tools for success.
This year, we're going to include 2 social workers to assist the department and add at least 100 body cameras for our officers.
He also wants to continue economic development in the city.
We all know that a vibrant downtown drives the overall health of the entire community.
The North River property has been in limbo since 2017, but Henry says there's a plan for it in 2021. With a price tag of over $150 million, the plan includes a professional soccer stadium, field house, event center, and a hotel. It'll also have other business and residential uses. Henry says the economic development plans don't stop downtown.
The Fort Wayne Redevelopment Commission, they own property along US 30 and is close to entering now into a development agreement for a substantial project at that site.
Details of the North River and US 30 projects were slim, with Henry only saying details will come soon. But Henry has confidence that even on the back of a pandemic, Fort Wayne will thrive in 2021.
We are Fort Wayne, a city like no other. Our future is now.
In Fort Wayne, Caleb Saylor, Fox 55 News.
And Mayor Henry's full State of the City address can be seen in this story on our website, WFFT.com. Huntington Sheriff's deputies have made an arrest in a number of car burglaries happening in the county. The Sheriff's Office shared this video earlier today saying someone was going to a number of cars towards the northern part of the county. That suspect was getting into unlocked cars to look for money and guns. The department says if you see anything suspicious related to this or any other sort of activity, you can call 911. Huntington Mayor Richard Strick is allowing karaoke and live music to resume in the city. The mayor signing an executive order to allow venues to operate those within city limits. Restaurants and bars, though, must establish steps to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 first. He says that decision was made following discussions with bar owners in light of efforts taken in the community. The Fort Wayne School Corporation and Education Association say they are opposing some state bills being discussed in Indianapolis. This includes House Bill 1005 and State Bills 412 and 413. These establish education savings accounts. The school board writing, these would increase funding for school choice scholarships. The expansion of these vouchers would have a negative effect on public school students, and these would divert needed resources from Fort Wayne community schools to private schools. They say in that resolution, quote, this type of legislation does not give real choice to families as private and religious schools can discriminate in whom they educate. Well, it seems another day, another round of snow for us in northeast Indiana. Meteorologist Beverly Perry here to let us know if we have any more snow on the way. Beverly, any good news?
You know what, Chris? I did call Mother Nature and say, hey, can we have some spring? Apparently it's on back order. Too bad. We're looking at more snow that's going to be working across the region. You can see the video behind me. That's some snow that we had earlier today. Very light snow coming down to the surface. We have a little bit of light snow falling across our southern tier county just south of Portland. Very light. You may even encounter a few flurries from time to time. But nonetheless, watch out for some slick spots tonight and also tomorrow morning. We shouldn't have any problems, however, tomorrow afternoon. I am tracking more snow. I'll let you know when that's going to be arriving in a few minutes.
Another positive sign in Indiana, the new metrics map shows a significant decrease in high advisory levels across the state when dealing with COVID-19. Only one county in Indiana is in the red, while a majority are in yellow. You take a look right here, see the map. 12 counties are in the yellow metric for us in Northeast Indiana. 4 are in the orange. And you can see even that little corner of blue right there, that's Stark County in Northwest Indiana. The advisory levels have not changed a majority of these counties. This will happen when the county has been in that metric for at least 2 straight weeks. Looking at state numbers, 1,452 new positive cases reported. This brings the total to 643,000. 52 new deaths brings the total to 11,578. The 7-day positivity rate right now, 6.2%. 35% of ICU beds are available and 78% of ventilators are available in state hospitals. Looking around our area, Allen County reporting 102 new cases and 4 deaths. The total is now 34,761 cases and 618 deaths. Adams County adding 7 cases. Grant adds 14 cases and 1 death. Huntington adds 18 cases and 3 deaths. Noble adds 18 cases. Paulding adds 7. Steuben adds 8. Van Wert adds 14. Wells County adds 7 cases and 1 death. And Whitley County adding 12 cases and 1 death. And a look at state COVID vaccination numbers within the last 24 hours. 17,604 first doses have been administered, and 18,070 are now fully vaccinated. The total first dose of the vaccine administered in the state, over 736,000. A number of fully vaccinated is 258,213. Indiana health officials will soon expand coronavirus vaccines to Hoosiers ages 60 to 65, but right now, vaccines are still only available to those 65 and older, and state health officials are hoping to expand that soon. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Lindsay Weaver says expansion for eligibility will happen just as soon as more vaccines become available.
As soon as possible, we plan to decrease the age of eligibility to include Hoosiers 60 to 65. This group includes approximately 432,000 people. Vaccinating Hoosiers age 60 and older targets a population that accounts for 93% of the deaths here in Indiana.
Dr. Weaver says it will take some time to vaccinate those Hoosiers that are 60 to 65 because that age range includes those, we heard, 432,000 people. When the state has enough vaccines and has vaccinated an appropriate amount of people 60 to 65, Dr. Weaver says then Indiana will expand eligibility to 2 additional groups. Those groups include Hoosiers ages 50 to 59, so going down 1 from 60 to 69, and people under the age of 50 with certain medical conditions that put them at an increased risk of severe illness. Those include people with Down syndrome, sickle cell disease, active dialysis patients, and those either actively receiving cancer treatment or have received cancer treatment in the last 3 months. Dr. Weaver says those Hoosiers have a 4 to 10 time increased risk of death if infected with COVID-19. And to find a vaccination site near you, look at more Indiana and Ohio COVID numbers and find out if you can get the vaccine. That information is at the top of our website at WFFT.com. Coming up, a Fort Wayne restaurant hit by the pandemic is now serving plates out of a local church. How you can help them keep their business alive. Plus, House managers present new security footage over the Capitol riots. We'll take a look at those videos during their first days of arguments. And later, a deal between Chicago and its teachers union to send kids back to the classroom. How parents feel about the return to in-person learning.
You're watching the area's only primetime local newscast, Fox 55 News, First at 10.